Hall of Fame voting has been announced. The Dodgers signed another veteran to the rotation, and Josh Hader's going to the Trastros.
Lame.
Hey guys, welcome to another edition of Lad Talk. Mason,
Yes.
there was a pretty big announcement the other day.
Yeah. Are you talking about the Hall of Fame?
That is what I'm talking about.
Because we're not talking about Hader going to the Astros as a big announcement. Because nobody cares. I don't care.
It sounds like you care
No, I don't.
for the wrong reason. We don't like it. We'll get into that.
I don't care.
We'll get into that.
Okay, I don't care.
He doesn't care. Mason, we got to talk about the Hall of Fame voting.
Yeah.
There was one guy that you knew was going to get in for sure. Another guy
For
that's
sure.
been trying for a year or two now.
I deserved it.
And another guy that you weren't so sure if it was going to happen, especially on the first ballot.
But should have been, I don't want to say first ballot Hall of Famer. But he deserved it no matter what. He deserved to get in.
Let's dig into that. Joe Mauer getting in as a catcher.
Clap, clap.
I thought you were saying timeout.
No, clap, clap.
Clapping. We're
Yeah,
clapping.
We're clapping.
Who claps like this?
Yeah, boy.
What a freak. Anyway, Mason, you were a catcher. You respect catchers. I think that Joe's a guy that, if you look at the overall numbers, not very overwhelming. Didn't get to the 1,000 RBI number. Barely had over 2,000 hits. Only 143 home runs when you look at the traditional stats. But when you look at him in the grand scheme of things, as far as catchers are concerned, I think he deserved to get in.
Well, that's why it matters. I mean, because you can't compare a player of his generation, let's say the mid-2000s, right? Early 2010s. You can't compare that generation to the generations of old, to the generations that are already in there. You have to base it off of the players of that generation. Joe Mauer was the catcher of that generation, arguably. So he deserved it.
Joe Mauer leading the league.
Yeah.
3 times in batting average.
Deserved it.
He was insane in his prime. Only caught for about 9 years before having to move to first base.
Only 9 years.
Only 9 years. 3 Gold Gloves behind the dish. 5 Silver Sluggers.
Wow.
That MVP season he had, he was insane. He led the league in batting average, on base percentage, and slugging percentage. OPS plus of 171.
Wow.
Led the league in that as well.
Crazy.
He finished in top 10 in MVP voting 3 times in his career. Sorry, make that 4 times in his career. So at his height, he was really good. Maybe not a Hall of Famer, a Hall of really good. But as far as catchers are concerned, that gets him in.
Yeah, I mean, he deserved it. Whether, is he one of those unanimous players that should go to the first ballot? Probably not. But I think he put up a Hall of Fame career at his position during that generation. Well deserved.
And when he stacks up next to other catchers, batting average, he was 4th all-time, 2nd in on-base percentage, 7th in OPS plus, 6th in hits, 3rd in doubles. I can go on and on about it.
That's why he deserved it.
That's why he's in the Hall of Fame.
He deserved it. Good job, Joe.
Congrats, Joe. Hey, Joe. Moving on, Adrian Beltre. First ballot Hall of Famer. You had no doubt about it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, these are, you look at the numbers, and he's a Hall of Famer just based off of the traditional stats.
Yep.
He got the 3,000 hits, the first Dominican player to ever do
I
that.
don't care what you say, that means a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
477 home runs, almost got to the 500 mark.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Cut it. No, I'm not going to cut it.
286 was the batting average. You're feisty today.
Yeah.
1,700 career RBIs.
Wow.
Really good player. Outstanding defensively.
Yes.
If you want to know more about Beltre, check out our most recent video that we did. Go watch it.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
You knew it was going to happen. Congrats to Adrian, former Dodger there. So big ups to him. He'll probably go in as a Ranger. That's where he had some of his best years.
Without a doubt.
And moving on. Todd Helton. He probably should have been a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Didn't get enough credit. I think he had some haters because he spent half of his career at Coors Field. But when you really dig into the numbers, he was just as good on the road as he was at home.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he would post, dude. And it just, like you said, it didn't have to just be because he played in the Rockies. He, especially his what should have been his MVP year, he was insane. Check out that video coming out soon, by the way. So we're not going to get too much into it because we want you to check that out. Matt, does a really good job. you do a really good job at these, you got to check them out.
Guys, be sure to check it out. Todd Helton, when you dig into the numbers, 1,400 career RBIs.
Jeez.
30 home runs shy of 400, had 2,500 career hits.
Dang.
And played a pretty solid outfield. Career OPS plus of 133, so that's 33% better than league average. Career OPS of 953, that's really good.
That's really good.
Anything above 800 is really good, and when you can be above 900, that means you're really hitting the ball well.
Yeah.
Todd Helton, he's a hitter, man. He's a hitter.
Yeah, and like you said, they weren't all home runs, so you can't just call it the Coors effect, the Coors Field effect, because you got to be able to square the ball up to get a hit, and he did that a lot. Not just in home runs, not just in doubles, but just hits in general. He was definitely a hitting machine. 4
Silver Sluggers, 3 Gold Gloves, so he could play the field just as well as he could hit.
Well deserved, yeah.
And also
First
was
base.
the quarterback at Tennessee.
Did not know that.
Volunteers.
Okay. Did not know that.
Yeah, so pretty talented guy. Getting into the Hall of Fame, Todd Helton, well-deserved. Congrats to Todd.
Second Rocky to ever be voted in. Who was the first?
Right along with Larry Walker, another guy it took him a while to get there because of the Coors Field effect. But again, another guy who's just as good on the road as he was.
Well deserved. All right, good job, Rockies.
There you go, Rockies.
You guys just need a World Series.
Need something to cheer for.
No, not in the next 10 years. Not in my lifetime.
They need something to cheer for.
No.
Let's go on to some Dodgers news.
Yes.
James Paxton is coming to the Dodgers. They signed another veteran to the rotation, kind of rounded out. He's a guy that could be your 5 guy, maybe a spot starter, maybe a long relief guy.
My first initial thought was, who? And then I looked him up again and thought, oh, he's been hurt. Haven't seen him.
Don't tell me you forgot about Big Maple.
I did, dude. He's just a big, lengthy lefty that's going to come at you with some heat, especially when he's not hurt, obviously. But he's lost a lot of credit because of his, lack thereof ability to be on the mound. So, I mean, I think the Dodgers just have a lot of upside with him. Obviously, it's still money you're paying for him, but considering everything else they've done, this is almost nothing for the Dodgers. It's good. It's their normal, traditional 1 year, just $2 million deal. You can earn a little bit more if you play better, kind of deal. So it's right up the Dodgers' normalcy. So,
and they like to drop those little Easter egg incentives in the contracts.
Yep.
He's got 2 incentives in there. If he makes the opening day roster, $1 million. And if he's able to pitch a certain amount of innings, they'll bump it up for another $1 million. So it's a low risk, possibly high reward sign for the Dodgers. Who knows if he's able to come back? Like you said, he's been bitten by the injury bug. Hasn't really had a full season since 2019. So
not good
5 years later, you hope that at 35, he's still able to get you some innings on the mound.
Yeah, and when he's out there, he produces. He's not going to be, your 1, 2, 3 spot starter, but I mean, he definitely rounds out that rotation very nicely just because you're going to be able to have Yamamoto, Glasnow, Buehler, who hopefully will come back and be an ace-level pitcher. I mean, your top 3 is crazy right now. Then you got Bobby Miller, who was
It's Miller time.
Essentially our ace last year, coming back, and is going to pitch even better and stronger and be more poised than he already was, which is crazy as a rookie. And then you got Paxton, and then you can have who? You can throw in Sheehan. You can have Stone if you really need that 6 start. So you have a solid rotation, and I commend the Dodgers just because that's what everybody said. Go out and get Ohtani, good job. But they still don't have pitching, and then got, I would argue, the best 1 through 4 in baseball right now.
Lots of depth. You like that. You think they're bringing back Kershaw. Do you still think that's going to happen?
And I'm not saying this because I don't care, and I say this in the best way possible. Because of everything they've done, I kind of forgot that they don't have Kershaw signed.
Wow.
I forgot about Kershaw. And that's only to say that they've done so much so far. But I wouldn't put it past them. I don't think they've done all this to, forget about him. I think they're doing it just to ease the pressure off of him and say, if you want to come back, we would love to have you. It's not all going to be on your shoulders from now on, obviously. You don't have to pitch every 5th. You could do it every 6th day to lighten the load. We know you want to be out there, but you don't have to be the guy anymore.
Take a load off, Fanny.
Fanny. So yeah, I would love for them to get him. Do they have to? No. Would I like them to? every Dodger fan would. Bring him back, let him retire. I guarantee, because of his back, if they can win the World Series in the next year or two, he'll retire. Happy.
I would think that that would be the perfect cherry on top of a wonderful career for Kershaw.
First ballot Hall of Famer.
Oh, easy peasy.
Should be unanimous, but they're not going to vote him unanimous because they're going to say his postseason sucks, which it does. But that doesn't say he wasn't, I would argue, the best pitcher of his generation. Mr. Southpaw.
Can't knock it. Another lefty on the move, and we're going to be haters for a second.
Oh, yeah. They have to be.
Josh Hader.
It's fitting. It's fitting.
Josh Hader heading to the Houston Astros on a 5-year, $95 million deal.
Not worth it.
Boo!
Boo.
Boo! Interesting incentive in here for Josh. If he gets reliever of the year this season, he'll earn an extra $1 million.
Not going to happen. Doubt it.
I hope he tanks. But there's no denying he's been one of the best relievers in baseball for quite a few years now.
It sucks.
Had a 1.28 ERA last year with San Diego. He really bounced back after that tough first year.
He had a terrible first year.
He's won reliever of the year in the National League 3 times already, 2018, 2019, 2021. Had that rough 2022, bounced back last year. And the thing that's interesting about this one, the Astros are really signaling that they're going for it. Obviously, $95 million for a reliever is a lot of money.
And he's not going to pitch more than 3 outs.
He's said that. He's only pitching the 9th, and it's only 3 outs.
And he does not, don't even try, because I'm not going to say yes. He's only going to pitch the 9th. I don't want to pitch the 8th, Mr. Astro. On top of that, the Padres extended him a qualifying offer, which means that there's some draft compensation connected to him. Okay.
So since he denied that qualifying offer that was extended by the Padres, and he's now been signed by another team, the Astros give up their 2nd-round pick to the Padres, and they also lose a little bit of signing bonus money from the international free agent market. So they're trying to win right now.
Yeah, they are. They're going all in. But, I mean, they haven't really done much else. Not to say that they need to revamp the team because they've been to the championship series for the last 7 years in a row. But, yeah, I'm tired of seeing orange.
Disgusting.
I'm tired of seeing teams play in their rinky-dink Little League ballpark.
Rinky-dink. Why'd they get rid of the hill in center field? I loved the hill in center field. I loved watching guys try not to break their ankle while trying to catch a fly ball.
It was like 450 dead center or something.
Jim Edmonds owned that thing.
Yeah. Small steps.
Jimmy Edmonds. Mason, let's just real quick touch on some guys that didn't make the Hall of Fame, but were really close. Billy Wagner. Definitely a guy that needs to be in the Hall of Fame.
Well, he got 73.8% of the vote. That's like maybe 4 votes away. I think he was 4 votes away.
75%.
Exactly. So he's 4 votes away. Sheffield.
Last year on the ballot.
Wrong case. You mean next year was or this was?
Well, this year Gary's done.
So he's done? Oh, he deserved it. Andrew Jones. Interesting case. Carlos Beltran. Yeah.
He could get there.
Alex Rodriguez, A-Rod, I don't think he's going to make it. I don't know where he was last year, but he's at 34. That's not going to cut it.
He won't make it.
No. How much?
Manny's not going to make it.
No.
You get popped that many times with steroids, you're not going to make the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Chase Utley, Hall of Very Good.
Yeah.
In his prime, he was an awesome second baseman. I love Chase Utley. He played the game the right way, but he's not a Hall of Fame.
But at the same time, you have to compare him and that position to that generation. Of the time, you're arguing...
And the position.
And the position, that's what I'm saying. It's not just about all the other players of that generation. I would argue that it's based off the position because you don't go in as, a Philly. You go in as a Philly second baseman. You know what I mean? It's based off the position. Just we talked about with Joe Mauer. I would argue that he is.
Might take him a few years to get there if he does get there, but Joe Mauer getting into the Hall of Fame certainly does help Chase Utley's case.
I think it does. You're absolutely right. Good job.
Well, guys, that'll do it for us here on Lat Talk. If you enjoyed what you saw, please make sure you like, comment, subscribe. We'd really appreciate it. Let us know what you think down below about the Hall of Fame vote, and let's go Dodgers.
Adios.
Cool.